Module 3. What the future holds. What the future holds. The things that we will experience in the future. Unit 5. Lifestyle, a way of life, and Unit 6. The environment, the surroundings, the seas, the trees, the mountains around us. Discuss. What do you think life in the future will be like 50 years from now? The meaning of this: can you describe the future 50 years from today? Now, will houses transport the way you move from one place to another using cars, planes, buses, and food be different from the way they are now? I believe that if we begin to take better care of the environment, things will definitely improve. If we don't cut down trees, we don't produce a lot of carbon dioxide, things will get better. Houses will be built to be more energy efficient. The houses will work well without using a lot of power. The same will be true for transport. Cars, buses, and airplanes will be able to go long distances, travel for long and a lot of kilometers on very little fuel, very little gas. I think food will be similar, almost the same to what we have today. I don't think we will be eating food in the form of pills, like they sometimes say. You know, some people say that in the future we will eat in the form of pills. I don't think that's true. Do you think environmental problems? Environmental is the adjective, environment is the noun. Environment, again, everything that is around us. The trees, the rivers, the oceans, the deserts. Do you think they will be worse by the end of the 21st century? 1 century equals 100 years. Now we are in the 21st century, and this century will end in the year 2099. In the year 2100, we will begin the 22nd century. Why and why not? I don't think things will get worse because people are becoming more aware. They have more knowledge, more education today of the problems caused by global warming. Global warming is the rapid increase of the world's temperatures. Many countries around the world have promised. When you promise, you give your word to do something, to do more for the environment and try to limit global warming. When you limit something, you try not to make it increase. You make it decrease, less. Pre-reading. Discuss. What do you think cities will be like in the future? That means, can you describe the cities in the future? I think cities will be quite different, a little different. There will be many modern skyscrapers. Modern belong to a recent time. Skyscrapers, very tall buildings. I also think that there will be new advanced means of transport. Advanced means very modern. Means of transport, very new, very modern cars, buses, airplanes that will solve. When you solve, you try to end a problem, finish a problem, finish the traffic, end the traffic problem. Traffic, the number of cars moving on a road. Most large cities have. What are the advantages and the disadvantages of working or studying at home? Well, clearly, one advantage of working or studying at home is that you don't have to commute. Commute means you take your car or a bus to work every day. Also, you can work or study any hours you like. A disadvantage is that you don't have colleagues, friends at work, or fellow students, friends at school, to discuss any problems with, or even just to socialize with. Socialize, you meet and mingle with. You will not have that if you work or study at home. The magazine article on the right is about predictions. Predictions, things that we believe will happen in the future, made by a group of scientists about what life will be like in the future. Read the article quickly without paying attention. Try not to focus on the missing sentences. We have 7 missing sentences. Don't focus on these missing sentences and compare the information in it with your answers to the questions in the previous activity. Try to compare the ideas we have here with the ideas we produced in the previous slide. Now read with me. A look at the future. What does the future hold for us? What do you think we will experience in the future? This is a question that has most probably, there is a very high chance that this question has crossed your mind. Maybe you thought about it at some point, at least one time in your life. But is there anyone who can truly tell us what our lives will be like 50 years from now? A group of scientists recently completed a study that tried to achieve something, tried to find an answer to this question. This group consisted of, the members who were in this group are professionals from different occupations, different jobs and fields of study. They studied different things. Some of them studied physics, some of them medicine. Here are a few ideas based on. These ideas are according to their predictions to help you imagine the future. 50 years from now, populations, the number of people living in countries, will have grown. Grown is the past participle of grow. The number will increase to such an extent, to an enormous size, very big size, that the result of this, cities will themselves have to undergo. The cities will have to go through a radical change, an extreme change, to provide food and drinks for these people who are growing. Cities, as they are today, will not be able to provide places, food and drinks for all these people. This is why cities will have to undergo a radical change. Although many have spoken about population explosions in cities, explosion is boom, that's an explosion. What we mean here, population explosions, we mean the growth that will happen to people, the number that will increase. Need to get people out of city centers. This may not be the best solution. Now, solve is the verb, solution is the noun. Solution means a way to finish a problem. Most of the people living on the outskirts in the countryside of the city are therefore, because of this, they are forced, they have to do something they don't want to travel long distances to get to work every day. So a more suitable, more convenient solution has to be found. This seems to be what are now called commercial and residential high-rise buildings. Commercial, used for making money. Residential means it's used for people to live in. High-rise buildings means skyscrapers, very tall buildings. They will be similar to today's skyscrapers. but they will be taller and they will combine places of residence, the noun, residential is the adjective, with different work environments. The people living in these high-rise buildings will not have to leave the building to go to work, the gym, or the supermarket. They will live, work, shop, and entertain themselves, have fun in the same building. Everything will be around you. You don't need to commute, to drive your car to go anywhere, without having to travel from one place to another. Now, travel means go from one place. It doesn't mean that you leave your city to go to a different city. The only disadvantage will be taking the lift, the elevator, to go from one floor, from one level in the building you're in to the next. Imagine how inconvenient, how not suitable it will be if each building consists of 1,000 floors. Well, how long will it take you to go from floor 1 or the ground floor to the floor 900? It will take time and it will be an inconvenience. Those who do decide to live on the outskirts of the city will have an alternative work or study arrangement. They will have a different solution, a solution that they can use instead of living in skyscrapers. Well, they will work or study from home. Technology that exists today, that we have today, has already made this possible. It's true, some people today study and work from home. But by that time, it will be done by a large majority of individuals. Majority means most of people will do this, study and work from home. For one means, as one example, you will not have to commute. Again, commute means travel to work or school every day. Travel means go. Furthermore, you will be able to choose a work or study schedule that suits your own personal needs, that is convenient for you, makes you feel comfortable. Needless to say, we don't need to say that you will have to be very responsible. You have to take charge of your life and pace yourself. Pace means speed. When you pace yourself, that means you need to finish your work on time, to meet the deadlines that are set by the company. Meet the deadlines means you finish your work before you run out of time. If you have to finish by Monday, Monday is the deadline. Meet the deadline, that means you finish on Monday or before. The company you work for or the university you are attending. Video conferencing. Video conferencing means meeting virtually. You meet people, attend meeting using your computer and camera, which is already a reality. We have this today. It's true. We have it today. We'll make sure that contact with colleagues or teachers and fellow students is maintained, is kept, is still in existence. Some have spoken about virtual reality images. Virtual reality images are images that look very real. It feels like it's there in front of you, of ourselves, which we will send off to different locations to get things done for us. So we don't need to go by ourselves physically. No, we can just send a virtual reality image of ourselves so we can go and finish work in some other places. One thing is for sure, the future holds many surprises for us. We can make as many predictions as we like, but no one really knows what lies ahead. What the future holds. What we need to keep in mind is that what we do today can change the future. If we destroy the environment today, there will be no future. So we need to take great care to do it well. Now, compare between the ideas here and the ideas in the previous slide. In the text, scientists predict, as I said before, that there will be many tall buildings, but they will be much larger than even I had imagined, and they will combine places to work with places of residence. People will live and work in the same building and won't need to travel. The text doesn't really mention much about how transportation will change. Some believe that there could be virtual reality images of ourselves, which we will be able to send off to different locations to get things done for ourselves. For those who chose to live on the outskirts of the city, they won't have to travel to go to work, as they can work at home. 7 sentences have been removed. We have 7 of them. Now, we have 1 extra sentence that we don't need to use. Now, what I want from you is to read the sentence before the gap and the sentence after the gap, and then read the 8 sentences and choose the sentence that best fits the gap. Now, we don't have time to do it in this video, so I will just give you the answers quickly so we can finish faster. 1. H. The reason for this is that most of what we have today is aimed at some kind of benefit, advantage, or outcome, result in the future. 2. B. Together they set out, they began a journey to discover and predict the future. 3. E. One aspect, one side of the future that they focused on was what the future cities will look like. 4. D. Most public services and big businesses are located in or somewhere near the city center. 5. G. Think of how much time we could save if we didn't have to move around. 6. A. Think of all the possible benefits of working or studying from home. 7. F. So, you will be able to send one to take notes at your lecture classes for students at universities, and one to find information for an assignment. Assignment is work that you must do, you need to do while you stay at home to cook dinner using your virtual reality images. You can send an image of yourself to a lecture or to take an assignment. Now match the highlighted words with their meanings. 1 is extent. Extent means size. The population will grow to such an extent to a very big size. Undergo, the cities will go through a radical change, an extreme change. Residential, used for people to live in, having private houses. Drawback, a disadvantage. Commute, travel to work, go to work regularly, on regular basis, like every day. Discuss. Would you like to live in a residential high-rise building, a skyscraper, like the ones described in the text? Yes, I would love it. I think living in a place like that would save me time. I would be able to do many things, shop, work, have fun, without having to waste time getting there and back. How does the idea of having several virtual reality images of yourself sound to you? You stay at home and you send your image to work? How does that sound to you? Well, to me it sounds weird, unusual. It's very hard for me to even imagine what it would be like. I'm not sure I'd really like it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I will see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.